Hello, my name is Dr. Alvin Ng. I'm an associate professor at the Department of Psychology at Sunway University. Autism is a mental condition that is characterized by deficits in social understanding and communication difficulties. So this is why people with autism have difficulties forming relationships. Autism also involves limited interest in certain activities, and you may find that there are certain repetitive behaviors. On top of that, some people with autism may be very sensitive to light or sound or even touch. So it may be difficult to understand where they're coming from. They're just being sensitive. Stories that reflect social events can help children with autism understand more about how they can socialize. So this can be a good thing for parents, caregivers, and teachers to teach them. However, it's also quite time-consuming because it uses paper and pen. You need to use resource, you need to teach them, you need to draw things out, and that takes a lot of time and resources. With the invention of the iPad, app developers have taken traditional ways of doing stories of social events and digitizing them in an animated way like this so that it can be more interactional for people with autism and their carers. So what happens here is you're able to show situations in which the children can or might actually face so that we get them ready. And this is called priming in psychology. You prime them to get ready for situations like this that can be sociable. And you start talking about it before you go into the situation. And that can really help prepare a lot of children with autism because sometimes new things scare them. So if you can prepare them earlier, it's a very, very good thing. And with an iPad like this, it's so easy. You can bring it anywhere and you don't have to keep on drawing. It's all there and you can interact. Like for example here, I'm fishing. I just caught a fish. So let's see if I'm able to move this thing back. I'm not yet, but I should keep on trying, and this is where the interaction comes in. The child might get frustrated. Parents can then take that opportunity to teach the child how to manage that, because in real life, you are going to get frustrated too. Well, as you can see, this is a scene of a parent and a child taking a walk in a park, and this is where you can actually talk to the child about, okay, this is how walking in a park is like, and there are so many things you can do. So what happened for this scene, there's an axe there that you can bring down, and when you bring down to the trees, whoops, you know, the trees get chopped down, and as you chop them down, you can see that, you know, earlier the parent and kid was not very happy, so you can start talking about emotions to the child, and why is it that people are unhappy when you know, chop trees down, and then what happens when you take this over here, and oh, trees appear, and you know, they're smiling, and there's some kind of narration in there that says, oh, it's a natural habitat and this is good. So this is where you can bring up all kinds of discussions about what goes on in the park and what are the kind of things you can talk about, and that helps very naturally in getting communication going in children with autism. And these are just scenes that you can interact with, which is brilliant. Guess what? There's also an app on going to the dentist. Wow, let's have a look. And before that, you know, it's also important to note that there's an adult section. If you type your birth year in, now you know how old I am. It tells you about what you can do in this app. There's a game philosophy, there are the controls, it tells you how to control it, and then something about the local setting that teaches you how you can explore this app with the child. And then you can return to the game. For example, children are usually very afraid to go to the dentist, and even some adults too, for example myself. And what you can do is you can show the dentist setting and then talk about the kinds of tools that the dentists use. You know, there's a scraper, there's the mirror, and what does what. I mean, you can talk about the functions, and so that children get to be more familiar with what might happen. And if there's pain involved, then at least they know what to expect also. And they don't have to be too scared about it. There's one part that I also like, where you can even register, so children know the process. That, you know, when you register, you can ring the bell, and nurse will come and say, yes, how can I help you? You can register, and you can even put your name, age, and photo on it. It makes it very realistic. So when children go through this and talk more about it, it can also help reduce their fear in going to the dentist, because these are all very normal things to go through. So again, brilliant.